this video, I'm going to share with you the 6 basics you need to be able to create your own DIY branding that looks professional, that looks cohesive, and that you feel confident showing up in. So, one of the things that people struggle with the most when it comes to DIY branding is all of the different things that they think that they need to be able to start showing up online in a professional and cohesive way. So in this video, I'm going to share the 6 things that you actually need to create your own DIY branding that's authentic to you, that feels like you, that looks professional, and that is cohesive. So I hope these tips help you, and let's get started. So step number 1 is you need to work on your brand clarity. This is the foundation to everything to do with your designing of your brand and the visuals of your brand. So you need to have brand clarity so that you have confidence making decisions for your brand, especially when it comes to designing your branding. So when you have brand clarity, it makes designing your branding so much easier. So in terms of brand clarity, what you really want to do is start to understand your brand inside and out. You want to understand how you want your brand to feel, how you want your brand to look. So you want to really get clear on the design style that you want for your brand. And I'm going to share a little tip on how to do that in a minute. So with brand clarity, you want to figure out what your values are for your brand, what the mission is for your brand. You want to really get to know the kind of offers you want to create in your brand, or the kind of products, if you're a product creator, what kind of products you want to be, creating within your brand, and what kind of offers. So if you're a digital seller or you're an infopreneur, you want to really get clear on the kind of offers that you want to create. And that comes from a place of really understanding how you want to show up in your brand, how you want your brand to work for you. You want to really be thinking about your lifestyle and how your lifestyle impacts on your business as well. You want to get really clear on your deeper meaning of your brand, what your brand is all about, and why you have this business. What's it actually all for? And then you really want to get clear on the design style for your brand. So once you've understood, your values, where your brand is going, who your brand is for, what kind of offers you want to create, how you want to show up in your brand, how you want to market your brand, then you can start thinking about how you want your brand to look visually. Because how your brand looks visually will become so much easier for you to understand once you've done that brand clarity on where your brand is actually going. And when you want to think about your brand clarity and your vision for your brand, your path ahead, you want to be really thinking about the long-term vision of your brand and the big dream of your brand. What's the big dream for you? What do you really want to get out of your business? And how do you want it to impact your life and impact those people that interact with your brand? So once you've got clear on your brand, the vision for your brand, the direction your brand is going in, who you want to serve, what your values are, what you stand by, what you don't stand by, and how you want your brand to be perceived, and the real value of your brand. So you really want to get clear on the real value that you have to offer in your brand. Then you want to start thinking about the design style for your brand. So the design style is where some people get really unstuck. They feel like their brand should be designed like other brands in their industry, or other people in their industry that are doing really well, or the people that they look up to. Also, people struggle with figuring out if their brand, visuals should be aligned to their ideal client. What I like to say is your brand's visuals, so how your brand looks visually, so the logos, the colors, the images you share online, all of that needs to be aligned to you. It's got to be really authentic to you, and you've got to love that design style for your brand. Because if you want to create a branding that lasts, and by the way, you can do this even if you DIY your branding. If you want a branding that's going to last for a really long time, so a timeless branding, you need it to really align to you. You've got to really love your colors. You've got to really love the images that you share. You've got to really love your fonts, and you've got to really love your colors. So when you have that brand clarity, it makes it so much easier to choose your visuals for your brand in a way that feels authentic to you, and in a way that you'll be able to show up consistently in that style for your brand. So what I like to do is I like to tell people to create a mood board. So I tell my students in my Branding Essentials course that I have, I tell them to create a mood board With your brand vision in mind, with your big vision for your brand, choose images that you find online, whether they're stock images, whether it's looking on Pinterest or looking at other logos or other brandings that you really love. And I want you to choose images that really set you on fire and really make you feel, yes, that's really me. And that's really going to align with my brand. And you want to create a mood board of, different colors, different textures, but everything has to really feel like, wow, that's really me. I really love that. So create a mood board, and this mood board is then going to help you with step 2 of your branding journey. So it's really important to create a mood board, take your time, spend some time really looking for images that give you that feeling of, oh, wow, I really love that. Don't just pick images that you think you should choose for your brand board. Pick images that really light you up and really make you feel, yes, that really feels like me. And I really love that style. Another thing to do if you are struggling with finding your design style for your branding is to think about your home. Imagine if you were a millionaire and you had all the money in the world to redesign your home in a way that really feels like you, redecorate your home, refurbish your home. Imagine how you would design your home. What textures would you use? What colors, what style would you have? Would it be, really modern and really clean, or would it be really cozy but elegant as well at the same time with lots of different patterns and textures? Really think about how you would design your home, and this will give you a really, really good idea of the brand style that would really feel like you, that would feel authentic to you, and that would make showing up online really easy for you. So your home is where you feel the most safe, it's where you feel the most authentic, and it's where you feel the most you. And if you think about how you would want your home to feel, how you'd want your home to look, that will really give you an idea of the design style that really aligns to you and that you will probably always go back to. And this helps you if you design your branding in a design style that you consistently have always loved, consistently enjoy and feel inspired by, then it will help you to create a lasting brand, because you won't feel the need to keep changing your branding over and over again, because you've designed your branding in a design style that really, really aligns to you. Create a mood board and then go on to step 2, because this is where your brand clarity and the mood board that you create with your brand vision in mind are going to help you with this part. So, step number 2, you're going to take your mood board and you are going to create your color palette. So, your color palette, color palettes can be really confusing, and one of those areas where people get really stuck. They may spend a really long time ruminating on what colors to pick. Should I pick colors that other people in my industry are using? Should I pick colors that my ideal audience will like? Should I pick colors that match my products? It's so hard to choose your colors. Now, if you choose your colors in the way I share with you now, you will find it so much easier. So when you've created your mood board for your brand, which I advise everybody to do, which keeping in mind the visual look you want to have for your brand, you can then use that mood board to create your color palette. So what I advise you do, if you have created your mood board in a tangible way, so you've maybe made it by hand and you've cut out images from magazines or things like that, you want to take a picture of that mood board and upload it to your computer, and then you want to pick out colors from that mood board. You can do that with a tool called Coolors, and you can upload an image and you can pick colors from the image in Coolors, and then you can create a color palette that way. The same as if you have created your mood board digitally. So if you've done your mood board, maybe you've created one in Canva or something like that, you can use the color picker tool to pick colors out of your mood board. And these are the colors that you're going to choose. You're going to choose 2 medium toned colors, 1 dark color and 2 light colors. And you're going to pick colors that really feel, try to choose the colors that really instantly, attract you. So pick colors from your mood board that really feel like you, and make sure you have that balance between medium, dark, and light. And then those colors, you can then create shades from those colors. So once you've chosen your 5 colors, and the reason I say to use your mood board for your colors is because if you've done your mood board the right way, and especially if you've just been working on your brand clarity, the colours that you choose for your mood board are likely to be the colours that really align to you. So doing it this way makes your colours get born from a real place of authenticity and a place of really, deep introspection into what you really love visually. So choose those 5 colours. So you want 2 medium, 2 light, and 1 dark. And then what you're going to do is you're going to create shades from those colours. And these shades are going to give you that versatility. So when you go to design things for your brand, whether it's social media posts or designing a website, you're going to have that versatility within your colours while still staying really cohesive. So when you have just 5 main colours, it makes it so much easier to show up cohesively and professionally. The less colours you have, the easier it is to design. If you have too many different colours, it makes designing for your business, and everyone has to be a designer nowadays because of social media and content creation and everything else. If you have too many different colours, it's going to be harder for you to show up online in a cohesive way. So, like I said, you just need 5 main colours and then create shades of those colours that are either lighter or darker, depending on what you feel you need. You want to have a good mix of lighter shades and medium shades and darker shades so that then you have that versatility, like I say, but while still maintaining that consistency that you need to look professional and to create that trust and recognition from your audience. So, step number 3 in the basics you need for your branding is to have 2 simple logos. Now, when it comes to logos, most big brands and well known brands have these 2 basic logos as part of their logo suite. So, when you're working on the foundations and the basics for your branding, you don't need to worry about too many different logos. The only 2 logos that you actually need to be able to start showing up online cohesively and professionally is a square based logo. So you want a 1-to-1 ratio square based logo. And that's going to be the logo that you use in places where you need to upload a 1-to-1 ratio logo. So a square based logo. This logo is going to be simple. It's maybe going to be a monogram style logo or an emblem. And this is going to be used, like I say, in places where you need to upload a square format logo. The second logo that you need to have is a word-based logo, which is going to be a longer format, and it's going to be your name of your brand typed out in a longer format. So, say for instance, the Timeless Brand Society is the name of my course and my community, my branding course and community. So I would type out the Timeless Brand Society in my chosen fonts, which I'll go on to in a minute, in my chosen font, and it's going to be clean, it's going to be simple, and that's just my word-based logo. So there's just 2 logos, the word-based logo and the square 1-to-1 ratio logo. That's all you need to start showing up cohesively. And in order to design those logos, you need to first choose your fonts. So your 2 logos that you need for your brand, the 2 very basic logos you need, are going to be in your brand font. So your first brand font that you need to choose is your header font. So this is going to be either in a sans serif font or in a sans font, depending on the style of your brand and the type of brand you have. You want to be choosing a font that really gives off the real character of your brand. So this is going to be the font that you use in your logos and in the headers of anything that you create online. So the main header text and your actual logo font. This is what you're going to be using for your base logos. You also want to have a subheader font, and this is the font that you're going to use for subheaders and for your paragraph text and your body text. So any areas of text where there's a lot of text in your design, maybe it's a social media post, that's a carousel post, you want to have a body font that you can also use as your subheader font. And this needs to be a clean, clear, easy to read font. And then the last font that you need, well, you don't actually need to have this font. This is a nice to have, an add-on font. So this is a decorative style font that you're going to use very sparingly. It's going to have a lot of character. It's maybe going to be an example of decorative fonts is script fonts, calligraphy fonts, or really characterful bold fonts. This is going to be a font that you use to add a little bit of character, maybe add a little bit of, detail to your designs, and it's just going to be used for accent text. So text that you want to stand out, but you only want to use this text very sparingly, because decorative fonts are often quite hard to read compared to your body font, your simpler paragraphed style of fonts. So you want to be using your decorative font very sparingly, but it's just going to be a font that you carefully choose that's going to really show the character of your brand and really give a little bit of extra flair to certain designs. You're not going to be using this font all the time. You're just going to use it, like I say, on very small areas of text and very sparingly. So this will give a sort of a little added elegance or flair or character to your designs. So once you have your free fonts, you're going to choose your main header font to be your brand font that you use in your simple logos. And like I said, you can always create more logos later on. But in order to have a functional foundational branding, you only need those two logos and those free fonts that you choose for your brand. Hi there, I just wanted to let you know that I do have a free Timeless Brand Starter Kit. In the kit, there are two templates. The first template is full of lovely, beautiful, timeless colour palettes, along with all of the hex codes. Also, I have got a selection of some of my favourite timeless font pairings as well, just to help you get started on a timeless branding. And there's also a cheat sheet as well to help you get going. So if you would like the kit, just click the link in the description below and you can get yours. So step number 4 is you are going to choose your brand imagery. So brand imagery is an area where people can get really unstuck and they can end up choosing all the wrong images to share within their business that don't align with their brand style, that don't align with their branding, that don't align with the kind of, vision or feel that they want to have for their brand. So you want to choose a selection of images that you are going to use consistently within your brand that really give off the right feel for your brand, that really showcase your brand in the way that you want your brand to be showcased, and that really align with your ideal clients. So when it comes to choosing brand imagery, what you want to have is you want to have at least one image of you. It doesn't have to be a professional image. It can just be a nice, clear, head and shoulders image of you that you're going to be using in your social media profiles, in the small area where you can upload a profile picture. You might want to use it on your website. You want to have an image of you that aligns with your brand. So even if you don't have a lovely setting to have your images taken, maybe you can only take them at home by yourself. You want to have your image on a plain background, maybe a plain wall. If you don't have the sort of scenes that will give off the right vibe for your brand, you can have your picture taken in front of a plain wall. So you just want to have one simple image of you that looks professional. And then you also want to have some stock imagery. So you want to have imagery that you either source online or you create through an app like Midjourney or Magic Create, which is on Canva Pro. You can create your own AI images. Don't try to create AI images of yourself because they don't look professional and they kind of cheapen brands. And I know a lot of people are doing it nowadays, but I would not advise doing that. Like I said, for the image that you need of you, or one or two images of you, you want them to look like you, and you want them to look authentic. So, like I said, you need to have some stock images that you're going to consistently use within your brand, especially on social media. So, you want these images to create that feel for your brand. So, say for instance, you're a wedding planner and you want to start working with more clients, European destination clients. You want that lovely fine art kind of feel for your wedding business. And so, in that case, you want to be choosing stock imagery or creating your own stock imagery that really gives that sense of how you want your brand to show up and how the kind of clients that you want to attract to your brand, the kind of feel that you want for your brand. So these stock images are going to really give your audience that feel for your brand and that aspiration for your brand that you want them to feel. So you want to choose images that really align to your brand and really, attract those ideal clients that you want to attract. And they also have to really align to the style of your branding. They have to align to the colors. They have to align to the feel and the style of your branding. So if your branding is very elegant and timeless, you want to be sourcing stock imagery that's also elegant and timeless looking. And then the other thing that you need to have, if you are a product based business, you need to have images of your products that look professional. And also if you're, say, an infopreneur, you want to have mock-ups, you want to create mock-ups or have images of you working with your clients, or behind the scenes style images. But all of these images, they all have to align together, and they all have to align with your brand, the style of your branding, your visual branding. So choosing these images that you're going to be sharing, within your business very consistently it's a process that you really need to take your time, and you really need to really focus on this and make sure that you get this right. Because when you start sharing visuals online, if you choose the wrong visuals, it's going to give off the wrong vibe for your brand. So what I see a lot happening is people will share one image one day, which is really sort of elegant and sophisticated and dreamy and light and airy. And then the next day they'll share an image that's got a very modern vibe and that's very minimal and very dark. So whenever you share images online within your business, you need them to really align to your branding. You need to be really brutal with how you choose the images that you share online, because this is where people can get completely unstuck. They can create their logos, they can have lovely logos, their base logos, they can have their color palette, really sorted, and they're really happy with their color palette. They've chosen their perfect fonts that they're going to use in their brand, and then they go and choose images that they just share online that completely destroys all that hard work they've done creating their color palette and fonts and logos, because it doesn't match. So visuals are so important when it comes to how your brand looks, how your brand feels, and the vibe of your brand. So you want to be choosing a selection of images that really align to your brand and really align to the vision and really align to how you want your brand to look and feel. Choose a selection of images. Make sure you use these images really consistently within your business, and these are going to be your core images that you choose to share online in your business, and they're going to help create that trust factor. And don't be scared of reusing the same images over and over again. All that will do is it will make your brand look really cohesive, it will make your brand look memorable, recognizable, and it will create that trust. So you don't need to use tons and tons of different images within your business, within your social media, within your website. You just need to select those core images that you're going to use over and over again. You're going to take your time to pick the right images, and then you can use those images over and over and over again. So taking this time to really carefully source those images and make sure they all align together, that they all align with your brand, is going to save you time in the long run. Because like I say, you can use these images over and over again in your business, and it's just going to save you so much time, and it's going to help you show up really cohesively. So this step is super important. It's super important to get this step right, because if you go wrong with the images that you share online and everywhere else in your business, if you go wrong in that part, it can completely mess up all the hard work you did creating your branding in terms of your logos and your color palette and your fonts. So now that you've chosen your fonts, you've chosen your color palette, you've chosen your logos, you've chosen your brand imagery, your core brand imagery, the next thing that you're going to do is create your cohesive business graphics. So things like social media posts, email headers, email images, and your stationery for your brand, like your business cards and your invoices, all of those sort of graphics that you need for your business to show up cohesively. What you need to do is you need to design all of those ahead of time, so that you've always got your base templates. So you could use Canva for this. There's tons and tons of templates that you can edit and adjust yourself. Even if you're a free Canva user, there's loads and loads of templates to help you get started in creating your base templates that you're going to use consistently within your brand. Business graphics is another area where everything can get undone. So business graphics need to really align with your brand colors. They need to you need to consistently use your brand fonts within your business graphics, and you need to also use your brand imagery in them as well. And this is going to help create that really cohesive look and that cohesive, trustworthy feel for your brand. because if your brand graphics also align to your branding, then you've got everything you need in place for a lovely cohesive brand that looks professional. You want to create them in a style that aligns to your brand and the vision for your brand. You want to create them with your color palette, your colors that you've chosen. You don't want to deviate from your colors, and you also want to consistently use the fonts that you've chosen as well. So you want to have your business graphics all ready to go. So whenever you want to post on social media or you want to send an email, you have those designs ready to go so that every time you show up, you're showing up cohesively and authentically. This may take a while, it may take a week or even two, but if you create those templates up front, then they're ready to go and you can always be sure that you'll show up consistently. Having consistency is so important. It creates trust, it makes your brand memorable. We all know those brands where you only have to look at one social media post. It might not have any text on it, it might not have anything, their logo on it, but you know who that brand is just by the colors that they use, just by the kind of graphics that they use, and just by the images that they use. So you want to create that brand recognition. It creates trust and it makes you look like a lasting, trustworthy brand. So the next thing you want to do is create a brand guidelines document. In this document, it's going to be, you can use templates from Canva to create these, and it's going to have all of the elements of your brand in one place so that you always know what elements to use and how to design anything for your business. It's not just brand designers like me that have to design. Everybody has to design for their business nowadays because of social media and because of all the content we need to create nowadays. So having a brand guidelines document is going to help you stay on track. It's going to help you always know the exact colors to use in your brand, the exact images to use in your brand, the fonts that you're going to use in your brand consistently, and your logos. And you're going to have it all in one place so that you can always stay consistent and stay on track. And one thing I'd like to say about consistency, don't be afraid to use things over and over again. So use your same templates over and over again that you create for your social media posts. All you need to do is change the text, change the images. Having consistency is going to make your life easier because you're not going to have to design everything from scratch every time you design something. It's going to create that trust factor. It's going to make your brand look timeless, and it's going to make you memorable. So being consistent isn't just about being boring or being, really organized or repetitive. Being consistent is what your audience wants you to be. They want you to be consistent. It helps them to feel really clear that you're the right person for them. When you show up all the time with the same colors, the same fonts, not deviating, the same kinds of images, the same kinds of graphics, your audience is going to trust you and they're always going to recognize you, and it's going to give you that recognition, and hopefully it will help to attract more of those kinds of ideal clients that you want to attract for your business. So staying consistent is one of the best things you can do for your brand, and having a brand guidelines document will just help you to stay on track. So that's all it is, 6 simple steps to create your own DIY branding in a way that you can show up authentically, cohesively and professionally. And this is what I teach people in my Essentials Foundation course. You just need 6 things. You just need your clarity, getting really clear on your brand and the direction of your brand and your brand design style. Number 2, your color palette, 5 main colors with shade variations of those colors. So you've got versatility. And then you need to have your free font. So you want to have your header font, your subheader font, which is also your body font, and you want to have your decorative font. And then you want to have your logos. So you want to have your simple square-based 1-to-1 ratio logo, and you want to have your worded logo. And then you also want to have your core brand imagery that you're going to use over and over again that's completely aligned to your brand. You're going to have your cohesive business graphics, so templates and graphics that you're going to use consistently. And you're also going to have your brand guidelines document to help you stay consistent moving forward. So that's all that you need to start showing up cohesively. If you would like help in actually implementing all of this, I do have my course, and in my course you get a whole year of access to me where you can get personalized video guidance every week. So if you would like help actually implementing this and you would like access to the tools and the templates, to actually do your DIY branding yourself. But with my guidance, then please check out my course. And if there's any other videos you would like me to create around branding and creating your own DIY branding, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to create them for you. So I hope this helped, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.